was born into a family that played video games, so naturally I could not remember the first time I played a video game, nor can I remember the first time holding a game controller. But as I said before, Super Mario 64 was the earliest game I remember playing.
Man, Mario has been around a long time. But, as I've said a couple times before, as soon as I was born, Mario was there to greet me. I do not need to talk about the success of Mario and how he rose to fame. But, in case you've been living under a rock, Mario made his first appearance in Donkey Kong. It was not until Super Mario Bros. That he became the stuff of legend and saved the game industry, as there was a video game crash before. Fast forward many years later and we have the first 3D Mario game, and that is what I will be talking about today.
I've been coming back to this game for many years, and it's probably one of my most replayed games of all time, along with Zelda Ocarina of Time. But since this is a review, I gotta factor in a critical perspective along with my subjective, nostalgic perspective, so to say. So how well has this game aged? Not just for the people who grew up with it, like me, but as a whole and over the years. Well, let's find out.
As a JRPG fan, I like to talk about story in games, but story is not the reason to play Mario games, it's the gameplay. But really, the story is just like most other Mario games. Bowser is back once again, but this time wreaking havoc at Peach's castle. You gotta defeat Bowser once again to rescue Princess Peach, only this time he has stolen the castle's power stars, and in doing so, imprisoning everyone in the castle and having his minions keep watch over the stars. It's up to Mario to get back those power stars, to defeat Bowser, rescue the princess, save the castle, and that's all she wrote. The game boots up with Mario's floating head greeting you, the player, in which the Switch version now has the 40 Mario Easter egg. Yay! Oh, and I am reviewing the version on Super Mario 3D All-Stars for the Switch, by the way. I tend to mess with Mario's face on this screen. I like to stretch his forehead all the way up or down, stretch his ears, his mouth, stretch his face, and all sorts that would probably hurt a real person, but okay, moving on. It's pretty common knowledge in Mario platformers that you would move around with a D-pad, or a stick in this case, and that you push A to jump, but since this is a 3D Mario game, there is a Z-axis that lets you move away and towards the screen, right? Of course, and Mario is not just going left and right this time and going straight to the pole, no! This time, heck, you're not even trying to reach the end of the level. You're trying to collect power stars. That is your goal. The levels are not linear, although Nintendo would later make a 3D version of this concept with the Z-axis in Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World. In this game, the levels have an open structure that lets you explore, tackle obstacles to get the stars, and unlock new areas to do more of these things in. While that is a different direction from previous Mario games, besides going 3D of course, I do not think that makes it a bad thing. In fact, to me, that's the best part. I don't mind linearity in games, but I love being able to explore. This game has a castle for a hub world with 15 unique, for the most part, worlds to explore. The levels that I like the best are Big Boo's Haunt and Hazy Maze Cave, because the level design in them feel like they have a major emphasis on exploration. Of course, I do like some of the platforming levels, such as Tick-Tock Clock and the Bowser levels, for putting platforming skills to the test. When you first enter a level, you're greeted with a star selection, and well, to put it in more common terms, a mission select, so to say. And even though you can pick a star that's, let's say, for defeating King Bob-omb, you can instead get the star behind bars where this Chain Chomp is. I do love this level of freedom, although playing this for a review, I do notice that you can get several stars in one area. For example, in Hazy Maze Cave, the Swimming Beast Cavern has 3 stars you can get, but just getting 1 boots you out of the level. And you'd have to go back into the level, start from the start area again, and go all the way back to the Swimming Beast Cavern, and you have to repeat it for the other 2 stars in said area. It does not ruin the game, nor is it really a major flaw, but not being booted out of a level after getting a star would help streamline things better. But hey, picking a certain star on the mission select screen does have some effect on some levels, such as the first star on Womp's Fortress. The first star has Womp as a boss at the top of the level, but then the other stars have a tower at the top of the level instead of Womp. You probably would figure that I would like open world games due to the exploration aspect of this game, but actually the open world genre is something I wish I liked more. Open world games tend to have those quests that you know are just go to this area, kill this monster, or collect this item, aka fetch quests, and I tend to lose interest in a game's side content with quests like those. And sure, this game is all about little fetch quests, aka collecting stars, but what makes collecting stars in this game fun is the journey to said stars. This game keeps things interesting by having a variety of levels. Sure, there are 2 snow levels and 2 water levels, well, 3 water levels if you count wet to dry world, but even those have different level designs and layouts, and within these levels, varied objectives such as prove your platforming skills by climbing to the top of TikTok Clock, use the metal cap and invisible cap to get the star that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get. It's the ability to explore and overcome challenges that make collecting these stars fun, in which, speaking of which, The Witcher 3 has unique storylines within the side quests, as well as choices that affect outcome of said quests, and there's even a detective aspect of which, why haven't I played more of this game? And the game also rewards you for collecting stars by giving access to new areas, and I also love a sense of progression and accomplishment in games. Heck, I would love to 100% this game with every playthrough that I do, but normally I am not a completionist, and to be honest, I've only gotten every star in this game 2 other times. Once in the N64 version and once in the DS version. And I did complete this game again for the review, but there are 15 stars that are not so fun to collect. Actually, scratch that. Frustrating to collect. You probably know what I'm talking about. Collecting 100 coins to get a star. In some levels, it's tolerable, but not exactly fun, but seriously? Oh my gosh. No! Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so there's probably more than 100 coins in each level, but if you miss some blue coins or go into a level's sub-area, there's not a guarantee that you'll be able to get 100 coins, which is kind of worrisome. But what's really frustrating is getting close to 100 coins and falling in a bottomless pit. And if you die in a level, you will have to do it all over again. Not only that, but stars pop up in spots where you get your 100th coin, and it can be a very inconvenient spot. Come on, come on. This game for me came so close to a 10 out of 10 with all the fun times I've had replaying and visiting it over the years. But unfortunately, points off for my frustrations with the 100 coin stars. I can do the main scenario of this game without dying, but I can't do 100 coin stars without breaking my neck. Not literally, but you get the point. It's especially nerve-wracking on worlds with bottomless pits. Mario also has more moves besides jumping, such as a slide, long jump, triple jump, punching and kicking, but the only time I punch and kick is when I grab stuff. As for the triple jump, you do get an enhanced triple jump when you collect all 120 stars and 100 lives, but for me, getting the enhanced triple jump after collecting 120 stars doesn't give me much reason to use, as for me, there's not much to do at that point besides starting a new game, which I've done over the years many times and did the main scenarios, so don't get me wrong, I enjoy replaying this game. As for the 100 lives, not to brag, but I've played this game so much that I rarely see the game over screen nowadays. One more thing, the caps, which are Mario's power-ups in this game, they are sadly more of a means to get the next star instead of an extension to Mario's abilities. In the 2D games, the power-ups acted as a third life as well as containing a special ability. In this game, however, I've used the wing cap, which works like the cape feather in Super Mario World, to better navigate a level, the invisible cap to go through walls, and the metal cap, which I think is cool, but I've mainly used it to go underwater.
This was something I did not notice until now, but now that I am looking at this game critically, it's disappointing how underutilized these power-ups are, and how I wish I could unsee this.
And then there's the camera. I put up with it over the years, but as games evolved, I've grown accustomed to a thing called free roaming camera, where with the right stick on a modern controller, you can control the camera however you please, and it's kind of hard to go back to this clunky camera with limited control, but I still put up with it. It doesn't break the game for me. But there's no denying that I have a preference for the modernized free roaming camera. As much as I love this game, the two N64 Zeldas, and Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation, all these games are products of their time, and while they are still fun to play, the graphics clearly show their age, but hey, these games did what they could with the technology at the time. In the case of Mario 64, I do not think it looks ugly considering when it came out. It's bright, colorful, and I like using the N64 Mario look for Mario Odyssey. As someone who grew up with the N64, graphics are not an issue for me most of the time. As for the music, when you play this game as much as I have, you get the entire soundtrack burned into your head, basically. I love the Bowser level theme, the final boss theme, and I love the credits music. It's one of my favorite credit songs, although I prefer Mario Kart 64's credit theme. Along with Radical Dreamers from Chrono Cross, the ending theme to Twilight Princess, etc. However, while the soundtrack is catchy, I don't really listen to it much on my own time because, well, I like music from other games more, just my opinion. Of course, Charles Martinet is the perfect voice for Mario. I can't think of anyone else voicing Mario. I mean, most people would probably recognize his talent through this game, but it's Mario Teaches Typing that he began voicing the character. Although I did play Mario's Fundamentals when I was a kid, and I heard his voice there too, and this game is before Super Mario 64.
As I have said before, I have replayed this game many times over the years. I even considered it to be my third favorite game of all time, although I am debating that spot in my head with other Mario games. Sadly, no game is perfect, and loving a game comes at a price because of it. As a seasoned veteran, you notice little tiny flaws and blemishes that, well, not many other players would see, but does that make me like the game any less? No, it does not.
This game is almost a 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's still really fun to play in my opinion, and while I'm not a completionist, the 100 coin stars make me lose interest in completing the game, which is why I did not give this game a 10 out of 10. However, you heard me singing its praises otherwise, right? That's why I gave it the score I did. With that being said, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you enjoyed this video, and have a blessed day.